Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Coachman Catalina Summit Series 184 FQS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite and a few things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, besides the little slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power and water connections are at the rear of the unit, on your off campsite or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Power there, water there. So park accordingly so you can utilize facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. The unit's got a hand crank level. So we crank it to the right to bring it up, to the left to bring it down. Now you can get a stick on level and put it on the side. One this short shouldn't have to. Pretty much eye-reach level, or just stick a level inside your entry doorway. Once we got our unit level, next thing we do is stabilize it. Now this unit only has 2 stabilizing jacks on it. They're on the rear. 3/4 inch hand crank. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. These are kind of a long stabilizing jack on these. I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. They're going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. Hot blacktop in summer, and just better distribute the weight. Grab a 2-pack of those from our store, put them down, and run these down just until it's taut. Once it feels like you've got some resistance on this and it's going to start to lift the unit, stop. Remember, we don't want to lift the unit. All we want to do is stabilize it. We've already got it level. We don't want to change that levelness. Once we got our unit stable, we can hook up our power and water. Got a big long 30 amp cord comes on these. Pistol grip here. Put that in a little bit to the left, about 11 o'clock. Turn it to the right. Put your black washer on, and that'll lock that on there. Now at the end of that 30 amp, should you need to plug into a 110 at home somewhere, 30 to 15 amp reducer comes with your convenience pack. Plug that on the other end. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up the city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in the unit. Always use this when putting fluid in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Put that on, hook up your hose. But one more step before you turn that hose on, let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located on the off campsite toward the front. And all we're doing at this point, folks, make sure our drain plug's back in. Put some plumber's tape around that, get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now if that hose has been on for a little while, go inside and open up all of your water taps. Wouldn't need to open up the slide to do so, but while you're in there, you can open up your slide. Get all them water taps opened up, get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then you'll know that your hot water heater's full. You can shut them taps off when there's no more air in the lines. Then you can turn on your hot water heater from indoors. Now another way to check to see if there's still water in there is just lift up on this pressure release valve. Some water comes out, we know we're full. Now if for some reason your hot water heater doesn't work, come outside and check to see if these are bubbled out. If they are, simply press them back in. There, reset. Then you'll turn that hot water heater on from indoors. I'll show you where to do that. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water, we're going to go dry camping or boondocking. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater or potable water tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. We're going to gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or two, on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a button to show how full your freshwater is full. Don't leave this unattended while you're filling it. Once it is full, remove your hose, put that cap on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that fresh water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook up to the city water. That's already pressurized. You don't need to do that. All right, we're all set up for power and water. We'll go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Continue here on the off-camp side. Your hot water heater right below your fresh water connection. Big pass-through storage there. There's your freshwater drain. And there's your low point drain. So that would be your freshwater tank, and that would be all your low points from your regular tank. Got a small little slide here. On your slides, you want to add to the longevity of the life of these wipers. They've got a spray in our store that you can put on them. Keeps them pliable and flexible over the years, keeps them from dry rotting. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when dumping our black tanks when we leave the campsite. Again, our city water connection. There's our black and gray tanks. There's where you plug your cable in at the campsites. And then again, your power connection. Spare tire with a cover. Keep the cover on there. It's going to keep it from dry rotting. Come up top. Take a look at your backup camera prep. You can purchase a backup camera. Half the device will set on the dash of your tow vehicle. Another piece will attach there, give you a backup camera for the unit. Come around to our campsite. We do have a leash link for your pets. Got a stabilizing jack. Multicolored LED with remote control. Got a couple of 110s out here. As well as some JBL outdoor speakers. A vent for your microwave. That's a flue for your furnace. Two things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. And two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. That gets hot. I'm not continuing down your campsite, the other side of your pass-through storage with your hitch work in there. Rest of your hitch work. There's your propane with this regulator. Of course, lefty loosey to open. Inside here, this could be your battery disconnect. That will disconnect all your battery power to your unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. And that about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. On these steps, a couple things. One, they're adjustable by this cotter pin that can pull in or out. And two, when opening or closing these steps, make sure this exterior door is all the way open, otherwise this piece will catch on it. Coming up in the unit, the first thing I always like to point out, your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Just to my left, under my fridge, it's going to be my breaker box infuses. Ton of 15s in there, a couple 40s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. To the right of that is your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt, always running off your battery. So if you do go boondocking, dry camping, and nothing plugged in charging your battery, if you're going to be gone for the entire day, don't want this to run your battery down, use your battery disconnect. Continuing up to our fridge, just a little safety strap here. Controls are there for those. Just make sure that you bring this around for travel. This here is a battery disconnect for the fridge. So that's your fridge on, fridge off. That's in case you want to defrost your fridge without having to shut off the rest of your power. Coming up into our bathroom, you do have a hand crank open power exhaust vent here. 110 with GFCI reset. Low plumbing to maintain. Back behind this access panel is all of your PEX plumbing for your sink. Keep an eye on that, just as you would at home. Remember, you're bouncing the house down the road. And then as we come to the right, we've got our control panel. So all the way up top, here's where you see the levels of your tanks. You tell when your fresh water is full, black and gray tanks. Showing them all charged and full. Here's our Bluetooth connection. Down here is where you turn on interior lights, exterior lights. This is your awning. And I'll also show you that your remote will change the colors here. And we can just flash them, strobe them for a party, whatever you want to do here. So a really cool system there. Shut them off. Continuing back up here, here's where you'll turn on your water pump if you're using potable water, and here's where you turn on your water heater. Here's your awning control and your slide controls. On your awning, you only want to run that awning out until you can see that silver bar and your white flap has fallen to 90 degrees. If you hold that button down, that's going to continue to run itself out and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on them. Make sure you don't run them out further than you need to. Run that in. Below that's our sound system. I don't know what kind of stations we'll pick up in this metal building, but we'll give it a quick scan. Continue to run the awning back in. So this is, when you're outside, you can pick things up. Bluetooth, auxiliary, 2 auxiliaries, AM, FM radio. Nice sound system. Indoor, outdoor speakers, that's your zones. Up here, 1 and 2. Hold it in to shut it off. We're into our kitchen area, just our sink. Again, some plumbing underneath here to keep an eye on. Self-explanatory microwave. You have a light and a fan above your cooktop. Got a panel light here, push it in, put your spark, front, back, turn it to high, off, 2 burner system, electric start. Down below that is going to be your furnace. You hear that kick on. Come back over here to your thermostat, crank that up. And then you hear that kick on. Now you notice when I shut that off, it's going to take a couple minutes for that fan to cycle through before it actually shuts off. Here's your collapsible table. You can sit up here for dinner or simply put away for travel. Find it stores good on the bed. Travels okay like that. Your sofa here will jackknife down. Simply lift up and lay it down. Give you another sleeping quarters. Lift the front, pull it back towards you to get that off. Back to where it was. Up above me is going to be our AC with quick dumps on the ends. Cold to colder. High fan, nice system. Continuing in here, you do have a little bit of storage underneath your bed. Prep for a TV over here. Another hand crank open power exhaust vent. Smoke alarm right above the bed. And all this bedding lighting is one touch USB ports on the sides as well. Well, that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and get ready to close the unit up. I just start by coming over to my control panel and shutting off my interior lights. Then I can look and see if there's any accent lighting that I need to shut off. So there's one touch lighting. Make sure my bathroom lighting is off. Make sure both vents, bathroom and living room, are closed. Come back up, turn on my lights and say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. Batten down the hatches. Come to your control panel and hit in. The slide's going to come in real quickly. And once that's in, shut off our interior and exterior lighting. Exit the unit. Again, remembering on your steps, make sure you have your door all the way open, otherwise you see that will catch on it. So adjustable feet, we'll lock that in here with this. Before you leave the dump station, and I say that in case you want to go inside and check your levels as you dump, before you leave, lock and deadbolt this door, lift and turn this handle. All right, if we are out boondocking, we're gonna bring up our stabilizing jacks. We're gonna come up front and open up that freshwater drain and drain that freshwater tank. If we're at a campsite, we're gonna unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is almost at the very rear of your unit on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. You got a 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. You'll arrive, remove your dust cover, hook this on there, hook the other end in the dump, and pull your black handle. Now that's gonna be all your sewage. Once it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, check your tank, make sure it's empty. If it is, come back out here, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, hook up to your black tank flush. Hook that up on there, turn that on, let it run for a good 5 minutes. That's gonna wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. The guy behind you can wait 5 minutes. He's on vacation. If you need to go that quick, you should have left earlier. When that's done, remove your hose. Close that back up. Make sure all that washout that you just put in there is drained out. Once that's done draining out, close your black handle, pull your gray handle. Now while your gray handle's draining, good dump station, you can go ahead and open up that low point drain right there. Dump the waters out of your low point drains. When you're done with that, come back here, make sure that gray handle is done draining. Look inside if you need to on your gray tank. If your gray tank's empty, close that handle, remove this hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store this sewage hose right in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Catalina Summit for many years to come. Happy camping.